back to identified to my power supply. So these two connections here represent power coming in, and I have an open contact here, which is within my relay here. This is an open contact. Once I activate my switch, when I hit the on, it will activate my contact to close, activate my light, energize it. When I hit the off button, it allows my relay to switch to other position, which will now be open, and de-energize my light. Okay, let's see if this works for us. We'll turn our power on. When I hit the on, it activates my red. When I hit this side of my switch, it activates my black, which is my off. And what you hear is actually the relay is doing that clicking action. When I've made connection to my red, it engages my contact to close, and then it waits for me to hit the other connection, which is my black, makes it open to turn it off. Perfect. That's our connection number one. From this, you should have your, like I said, your schematic diagram and your wiring diagram to show all your terminations, your specific conductor colors on your low voltage side. You need to have those colors specific. All right. On the load side, all we need to do is to have basically your live conductor and your identified conductor. Let's look at exercise number 2 on the next page, which is page 5. Our intent on this one here is an exercise to draw a schematic diagram with extra low voltage switches, switches 1 and switch 2, to control an extra low voltage relay, relay 1, and relay operates a single lamp, lamp 1. So what we're going to do now, we only have one switch, one relay, one lamp. We're going to use a second switch to control this. Both switches will control one relay that controls one lamp. In essence, what we're doing is creating two different locations to be able to control our one load through one relay. And all we need to do on this one, I already have white power on the low voltage side connected to my first switch. Inside internally, white is connected to my second switch. What I'm going to do now is to connect my second switch on position. And we'll go to this one here. And we are going to parallel off the first switch from first switch red to second switch red. And then we'll do the same thing on the off position, which is the black, represents off from switch 1. So we'll go from switch 1 off, and we'll go to switch 2 off. Now we have two switches in parallel controlling one relay that controls one lamp. These two switches can be two opposite ends of a hallway, a large opening. We are just trying to simulate having two different locations controlling one relay, controlling one light. So let's have a look at this. Each location I should be able to energize and de-energize my light, and also energize from one location and de-energize from the other, or energize from one and de-energize from the other. Very similar to when we were doing switching circuits in residential, we would be using three-way switches to be able to complete this task. So let's have a look. Switch 1 on, switch 1 off. Switch 2 on, switch 2 off. Switch 1 on, switch 2 off. Switch 2 on, switch 1 off. So now I can control from either location on off, or even turn it on here, turn it off here, turn it on here, turn it off here. Each switch position activates the relay to move that connection open, make it on or make it off. Okay, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. Okay, that's the second part there of our GE system. Make sure that you label all your devices: switch 1, switch 2, relay 1, load 1. All your color conductors on your control side is what you need to remember. Okay, we're going to go on to objective number 3 for General Electric. And what we're going to do here is we are going to now, you're going to need to do another set of schematics and wiring diagrams. Exercise 3 is asking to draw a schematic with extra low voltage switch 1 controlling 4 extra low voltage relays that operate 4 120 volt lamps. Connect the circuit but use 4 different circuits to your bench. So what we're trying to simulate here is having one switch control 4 different circuits. Each one of these circuits can come from a different circuit breaker or fuse panel. So we're going to use one switch to control 4 different loads with 4 different relays. Each relay will control a separate circuit. Okay, we're going to simulate that. I'm first going to disconnect our switch 2, so we are only using one switch. Okay. So now we still have the one switch controlling one relay. But we want to have one switch control 4 relays. So what we're going to do is now basically on the relay side, we're going to have the one switch simultaneously control all 4 relays. So what I'm going to do on the relay side of things, I'm going to parallel connect each one of my relay connections. So I'm going to start with the red side. I'm going to parallel all my on relay connections from relay 1 to relay 2, relay 2 on to relay 3 on, and relay 3 on to relay 4 on. Okay. Then on the relay side again, we are going to use blue is basically our power wire, and we will connect and parallel feed each one of our 4 relays. So we're going to go from relay 1 to relay 2, relay 2 to relay 3, oops, and relay 3 to relay 4. Okay, that'll be our common connection to each. And then we're going to control the or parallel feed the off side of our relays. We're going to go from one relay off to relay 2 off, and just like we've done with the other relays, just parallel each side. So we're paralleling the off connections right now on the low voltage side of our relays. Okay, make sure everything's tight on this side. We should be all good to go. Okay, just gonna lay this down. So you can see we've got a few wires going there. Now we've got the control side done, the low voltage side. Now what we're going to do is do the same on the load side. I'm going to change out my single lamp here. we're going to use a 4-lamp system to mimic 4 different loads. Fortunately, I only have 3 different colors to do 4 loads. And each one of these will indicate a separate circuit coming from our electrical panel. Just going to connect my bond up here. Okay, just take these out for a second. Okay, so just to start from scratch. So what we're going to do here then is we're going to mimic on the line side, our 120 volt side, having 4 different branch circuits coming out. Each relay will be 1 circuit coming off of 1 breaker. So we're just going to simulate that with different colors. And what I'm going to do, feed power to relay 1 on 1 circuit. I'm going to call it my black colored circuit. I'm going to feed power in to circuit 1 and power out to, I'm going to call this red my circuit number 1. Okay, then from circuit 1, my identified connection back to here, because I have a 120 volt circuit. So my 1 circuit is done. Then we're going to do circuit 2, and I'm going to use red to feed my circuit number 2. So I'm going to feed power into my relay on this side, and then